I think it's very important, given the fact that it's somewhat Black Lives Matter month in the city of Santa Cruz, or labeled by the city of Santa Cruz. I think it's important for us as activists and community leaders to really bring forth a lot of these issues that Black Lives Matter month or Black Lives Matter movement has really been highlighting. A bevy of systemic, institutionalized issues that really need to be brought to the forefront in our community in Santa Cruz, which I feel hasn't been addressed by many community leaders, and I think it's up to the community's responsibility at this point to really take leadership in addressing a lot of these issues.
Especially with this election coming up in November, this whole year in the midst of a global pandemic, in the midst of a new uprising civil rights movement, we want to definitely not just educate and engage with our community, but absolutely empower them with the power knowledge that is needed in order to create and work on sustainable solutions that reflect everyone's needs and identities and values, as well as indicating that current policies and laws that are set in place now do not reflect the values and identities of most of the people who will be impacted by them. And we want to build leaders and build leadership now, and beyond this panel. The panel is definitely a fundamental pillar upon which we will continue to build upon the backs of giants of the past and of giants of now. So those are just some of the goals that we have in mind for this panel tomorrow.
I really hope one thing they walk away with a lot more insight about what's going on within our movements. Me and other activists that I've been working with behind the scenes. Another one is just education, just in being able to sit down and look at a Zoom or look at us kind of to speak about these issues, to educate themselves more about what goes on systemically, more about institutionalized racism, other systems of oppression that we've kind of been fighting and dealing with, and kind of just really just walking away with just more knowledge and more empowerment, walking away from it.
I hope that attendees will come with a sense of open-mindedness, coming with an open mind really, but more specifically coming with the intention to actually learn something new, and not to just come in and pick a fight or try to argue with our speakers or try to do anything of that sort. I really hope that folks who come are folks who really do want to be there and to hear what our Black youth, our Black leadership folks have to say for themselves and on behalf of a lot of the community, and speaking out to these issues that are very much can almost be privatized, but are very much happening in the public sector. And we want folks to be aware of that and to walk away with a sense of not just new information, but information that is tangible, information that builds bridges between action items and the people who are setting those action items, and how to become leaders and organizers themselves. Today, now, it's very possible and attainable, and we just want to be part of that mission, and be a sort of a guiding light in that sense, and to provide resource for folks who attend, so that they can understand that they can walk away with more power knowledge, as well as the opportunity to get more involved personally with a cause that is near and dear to their hearts, or if it's part of our campaign here, to bring more awareness of the negligence of and the ignorance that is held by many different facets of institutionalized racism, many different actors, and to really bring that to the forefront of people's minds, and to walk away with the fact that they know that they can do something about it.
For right now, I know Faith is doing a march on the 31st from the Lighthouse to Santa Cruz Police Station to address the neglecting issues of hate crimes that's been going on around the community that the police has failed to address. That's one of the things I've been supporting.
And it is planned to be a march from the Lighthouse to the Santa Cruz Police Department, and that is really just highlighting the level of insecurity that exists within our Black, Brown, POC, Indigenous communities here in Santa Cruz, and how police violence is definitely curating a sense of instability But really, it's also a chance for folks to become more aware of these specific cases and examples, and again, of how to become more aware and more empowered to do something about it. So kind of a feeding two birds with one stone kind of philosophy there.
Myself, I'm hoping to do essential workers march in the near future. Hopefully, sometime before election time, definitely. Still figuring out the date of it, but mostly just having a march geared mostly towards essential workers from all aspects of the community. Because I feel that at this point, with the increasing health risk and health scares going on in the community, and also the issues of housing and the other bevy of issues which I feel affect essential workers, and just a lot of issues I feel essential workers have been dealing with since the pandemic, and also as well as racial issues with Alderwood and other incidences and other institutionalized racism going on in the community. I feel that it's important for me to really put the spotlight on them, because essentially they are the working class in our community, and I feel that they are the population that many of our political leaders kind of aim towards during election time. So I want to basically empower them, educate them on a lot of issues, and basically give them that empowerment to realize that you guys are the backbone of the community. And come election time, you really are the backbone when it comes to election time. So,
and we also have the NAACP UC Santa Cruz branch is also planning to have a march on August 5th that is in response to the noose that was hung on campus on July 6th at the intersection of High Street and Coolidge Road, up at the University of California Santa Cruz campus. The noose was hung for almost 24 hours. Public Affairs released a statement that was about 8 sentences long that specifically talked about the noose itself, and called it a looped rope, didn't even call it a noose, had the audacity to try and change that narrative. And it's not just the noose itself, it's also in response to the history of racial violence and actions that have existed on the campus that have themselves been institutionalized. But in this sense, that means that they've only been swept under the rug and accepted and tolerated, and nothing has really been done about it. As well as the previous acts of hate and violence against our BIPOC communities that exist on the campus, and our LGBTQA plus allies and friends who also are on the campus and within our Santa Cruz community.